this episode, we zoom back into the battles raging across the surface of the Algoryn world of Tecora. The forces of the Ghar Empire, led by the High Commander Fartok, sweep across the surface of Tecora, destroying all that oppose them. But the Algoryn Vector warriors refuse to yield. In an attempt to gain an advantage, the Vector forces now rush to re-establish control over their destabilized transmat arrays. However, the High Commander Fartok foresaw this contingency and now personally leads a group of battlesuits on its way to destroy the transmats once and for all. Who will wrest control of the disabled transmat array and potentially turn the tide in the Battle of Tecora? Find out in this episode of the Tabletop Warlords.
What's up, everybody? I'm Kevin.
And I'm Sergey.
And we are the Tabletop Warlords.
And once again, we find ourselves playing a game of
Beyond the Gates of Antares.
Today, we continue exploring version 2 by actually stepping back and playing the 5th scenario that we skipped last time.
That's right. We're testing the transmats. This match is going to be fun for multiple reasons. The first being that we finally have 100-point Force Level 2 lists. Yeah.
Don't punch my fist. It's also going to be fun because we're actually doing a rematch. I am once again the proud Algoryn.
And I will be playing the Ghar, and I promise not to cheat like a whole lot this time.
We're going to get the rules right. We're
trying.
I promise. Now, before we show these combat forces to you, as well as the battlefield that we have set up for today, help us in our battle against the algorithm and support this channel simply by liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and making sure that you have notifications enabled so that you see when new content drops.
And don't forget to share this content with people you think would love it. Those of you who have shared our content already, you have helped this channel more than you could possibly know. And if you want to support us in the best way humanly possible, consider joining our Patreon campaign where any pledged amount gains you access to bonus content.
And here we have my Vector combat force for today. Combat forces are, of course, 100 points and at Force Level 2. And to fill in my core selections, I have first taken 2 identical Vector squads. They are each 10 points base, and I have not spent any more points to upgrade either. My next 2 core selections are going to be 2 identical Reaver Assault squads, each at 13 points base, and once again, I have not spent any points to upgrade either. I have also decided to field, for the first time today, 2 Infiltration squads. These bad boys, or well, more accurately ladies, are going to be 12 points base, and I have spent a single point each to get fractal charges for the squads, which makes them 13 points total. And to back up all this infantry, I have taken 3 Vector support teams. The first is going to have a mag cannon, which is 6 points base, but I've given the unit a spotter drone for a single point, meaning it is 7 points total. The other 2 support teams are identical, once again starting off at 6 points, but I have upgraded each to have an X-Launcher with Scramble, Scoot, and Net Ammo for a single point, and I have once again given them a spotter drone for a single point, meaning each is 8 points total. To round off the force, I have taken a single instance of a Targeter Probe Shard at 5 points, and as far as army options, I have not spent any points on any of them, but as the Algoryn, I do get Distort Stability for free, meaning I have 100 points total for this list, represented by 10 order dice on the battlefield.
And this is my brutal 100-point Ghar combat force. I have started off my list with Fartok himself. He is represented by a battlesuit squad, which is 13 points base, and upgrading to Fartok is 6 points, making the entire unit 19 points. I have then followed that up with a whopping 3 more battlesuit squads at 13 points each. Continuing my trend of battlesuit spam, I have a assault squad at 15 points, and 2 bomber squads at 10 points each. Backing up my army, as always, are my Tectoras at 5 points, and I had 2 points left over, so I got 2 instances of QG Interference, which is just a monster of an army upgrade unique to the Ghar. In addition, the Ghar get 1 instance of Distortion Resistance for free. This entire army is represented by 100 points and 15 total order dice, which after plasma amps will average out to about 11 or 12.
And And here we have our battlefield for today. It's going to be a fun one. You can see the 3 transmats on the field, and that is the center point of or center pieces rather, of this scenario. Now, their positions are purposeful. You will have one on each flank that is going to be 12 inches from the short edge and 15 inches from the long edge. And then the center point is exactly in the center. Now, it is important to note that these transmats plus all the doohickeys that we have surrounding them don't count for anything as far as obscuring line of sight or causing agility tests. And then when you're actually dealing with the transmats themselves, the pads are considered the circular spot right in the center, but more on that later. We have 4 instances of scrubland surrounding the center point that is going to be agility test required, as it is difficult, +1 to your res, and obscuring 6 inches. And then we have a few other sets of scrubland on the long edges of each side. We also have some boulder fields. They are -1 to your agility when you perform the difficult terrain test, +2 to your res and obscuring 6 inches. And then we have some like less worse versions in the form of like, we wanted these cargo pods because they looked sweet, and we said, hey, why not have them count as rocky ground? So it's +2 to your res, difficult terrain when you're going through it, and obscuring 6 inches. We also have a few spots that are high ground so that maybe our weapons teams can take advantage of a better vantage point. This tower is going to count for nothing. It just looks cool. And yeah, that's basically the battlefield. Now, as far as the scenario is concerned, the transmats are the focal points. The transmat, like I said, is considered this circular spot in the center. Now, ours are a touch too small. They should be akin to 60mm bases. So basically, for our table, we're going to be measuring from the center point of the transmat pad, and anything 1.25 inches out radius is going to be considered on the actual pad, but 3 inches extended from that point is the transmat zone. Now, as long as you have any one person in a unit on the transmat and the rest of the unit within the transmat zone, you may test the transmat. Now, that is going to require a rally test, and if you pass, you are then teleported to a random transmat pad that is elsewhere on the table. Now, that means when that happens and it's successful, you have tested a transmat. A tested transmat gives you 3 victory points and is considered the serial number or whatever that you need, the dialing, I think, of the Stargate dialer, is known to you. And once you have 2 of those on the field, you can teleport between them using run, advance, or rally orders. Advancing means that when you pop out the other side, you may shoot, but running, you can never assault. Now, there's a lot of weirdness to this, though. When you are teleported to another spot randomly, if there is an enemy unit already on the pad and in the zone, you actually swap places. It is placed in the transmat that you came from, and you are transported to where they were in their stead. And then the other thing is if you start off with an enemy right next to you, also in the zone, when you test the transmat, that enemy goes with you when you teleport. And it is important to note that only a unit performing a successful rally test while in the specific spot on the transmat is counted as testing it. Moving around because someone else is teleporting doesn't count for anything. So it's going to get really crazy. The first person to test all 3 basically wins because the game ends immediately. And then for whatever reason, you get an extra point if you tested the most transmats. So I guess it's just a little, little insult to injury. But either way, that is going to be the scenario for today. Deployment for this scenario happens as normal. So I have the entire Algoryn line deployed a single move from the edge, which is 5 inches for basically everybody. On this flank spot where I am closest to the transmat, I actually have 2 infiltrator squads, which are going to be able to infiltrate here real quick. And then I also have a single assault squad. I have a vector squad taking up the center with my second assault squad. I have a mag cannon team kind of like looking down the field at potential Ghar targets. And then right next door to it is a vector squad. And then I have both of my X-Launcher teams hiding behind this piece of rocky ground, which is obscuring them from the onslaught.
And this is the Ghar deployment. It's pretty simple. I have pretty much my entire army shoved into this corner, all poised to run onto this transmat. If they can roll below a 3 and get through this terrain here, they'll be able to use the transmat on the first turn, which will be super awesome. I have Fartok over kind of in the middle because he has a huge command radius, and he will be kind of taking a central position. And then I have my wild cards. This weapons team is going to, well, not weapons team, I guess they're infantry, but they will be attempting to get up onto this hill and rain hell upon Kevin's units. I also have a weapons team here, which has a very clear shot to Kevin's mag cannon, but he's got a pretty clear shot to me as well. So it's going to be a very interesting first turn for the Algoryn and the Ghar.
So I have 2 units with infiltration, which is pretty sweet. And basically what that means is now that deployment has been finished, I am able to make a free move. And so I'm gonna do that right now. First with these guys. Now, I'm not gonna gamble, and I'm going to run and sprint, which requires a test still. So I got a 4, I'm good. And so basically, my unit is going to be 1 guy on the thing, and the rest of them within 3 inches.
Which does mean Kevin will be able to use this turn 1, which is brutal.
Yeah. And I'm obviously going to do the exact same thing with this unit, but they are going to get a pin.
Ha! Ha! And this is Kevin's final position going into turn 1.
So the other sweet thing about infiltrators is they're assumed to have already kind of like looked at the battlefield, and I get to place 2 minefields as if someone had made a minefield with a normal like grenades and fire order. And these can be placed anywhere on my side of the field, but they just have to be without 10 inches of an enemy, and they can't be within 5 inches of one another. So I'm basically going to be placing one on the center point, which I will just place right here. And then I'll put one on this transmat right over here. Now, whenever any enemy comes within just the 5-inch radius of them, with like a move, a reaction, a order of any type, I can set it off, and it's gonna cause up to 5 hits that work exactly like grenades and shooting.
Which is brutal. I'm just gonna swip through that thing and get blown to hell.
Side note, I really wish that my infiltrators would have just already tested the transmats
while they were
there.
setting up the minefield.
I'm gonna have a conversation with them after the fight.
It feels
like,
irresponsible.
Like, next time you're already there. Just, test the transmats. Going into turn 1, the Ghar have obviously fired up every last amp they have, giving them freaking 15 order dice. And the Algoryn are going to be opposing them with 10, and the ever-present distortion dice looms. That's right, John Roberts. We remembered it this time.
Turn 1, die 1. Our order die bag has never been so heavy in version 2. The Ghar! My bomber suits are going to be firing directly into his mag cannon. I got to seize this initiative. I will be at effective range because my effective range is 40, and then extreme range with my scour cannon.
I don't want to die, so I think I'm going to react by running to cover.
What?
2, I am fine, so I'm going to run to cover. Having passed, I do have to contest with this piece of rocky ground, which is just agility normal, so I have a 5. So I'm fine. So I can't sprint, but I'm going to run 10 inches this way and basically completely nullify his attack with the terrain. My final position is going to put me in this piece of scrubland. I'm not even going to bother testing because I only moved 1 inch in.
Ghar again. My assault squad is going to attempt to forge its way through this terrain. I need below a 3, which I fail. Damn, and a sprint check, which I pass. So I don't get a pin.
That's nice.
But I can move 4 inches to this, and then I have 8 more inches, but it's halved, so I only have 4 more inches.
God, so you're still stuck in it too.
Yep.
That's a pain.
So I'm just right here, which is unfortunate.
Pretty close though.
Ghar again. I will attempt to do essentially the same thing. I gave myself a lot of redundancy here because I knew this was going to be a tough check. So I need to get below a 3 to move through the terrain with this unit. Yes, I got it. And I have to do a sprint check, which I fail, so opposite of them. So I will do an almighty charge with my Ghar getting onto this transmat. I can kind of, I don't know, wheedle my way in here as best as possible, but I don't know how well I'll stand. And this is my final position. I'm just barely an inch away from this unit, and I'm able to be slooped through that transmat in case Kevin teleports to it.
Algoryn! And my first chance to trick Sergey! For my first order, my X-Launcher team is going to perform a fire, and they're going to fire scoot ammunition into this position right here. Now I am patching from the unit right next door, so I have no negatives other than the normal negatives for overhead shooting. I'm aiming for this point, but I still must hit. So, -1 for overhead is an effective range, so I'm hitting on a 1, 2, 3, or 4. And I hit on a 1! I don't think, nothing happens on a lucky, unfortunately, but that means the scoot has landed, and so now anything within 3 inches of this special munition can only do run or down orders. Algoryn! Gonna do the exact same thing while I can. So fire order for my X-Launcher. This time, however, though, I am gonna be shooting at worse accuracy because I wanna aim basically right on the spot because I don't want anything to be able to get around it. Now, I'm unfortunately only gonna be hitting on a 1 or a 2 because I'm at -1 for overhead, -2 for the obscuring terrain that I'm looking through right here. So I'm gonna roll that, and I get a dud shot, so don't worry. Ghar.
That was a very dastardly move by Kevin, but it didn't totally work out. So I have a chance. I need to roll a 3 though, which is not great odds. And I don't, I roll a 7. So this unit is going to, well, actually, let's figure this out.
I bet say you could get a little further than before.
So that was not great. So I'm kind of like right over here. And I have to roll a sprint check, which I roll a 1, which is not helpful. Oh, we forgot. We need to put a pin on them. Ghar! I'm going to attempt to clinch my hold on this despite the scoot ammo. And use my assault squads. They are erratic 5, so I need to roll to see if they go, and they do not.
Oh, damn. Oof. That's the plasma amps for those at home.
Ghar! Same thing. This unit will be attempting to do the same thing. They are erratic 5, just like the other guys, but they can go. And running on through, it doesn't really matter if I pass the terrain check. I'll check anyway, but...
So Sergey has 1 unit on the map, and the other 2 are gonna be within 3 inches of that transmat zone.
As best they can with scatter, yeah.
Algoryn.
I shall run and sprint with my vector squad. I must roll, and I get a 4, so I'm totally fine. No pins for me. That makes me get all the way up here.
Algoryn.
I shall now run and sprint with my Reaver Assault Squad, which does get a pin. And that puts them right behind this unit. Ghar again!
I don't really have any great targets, so my bomber team is going to try to run and sprint into this terrain over here. They need to do a sprint check, which they fail miserably, and a terrain test, which they also fail.
Jesus.
So, I mean, it's what they're worst at, let's be honest. So they're like right here and they get a pin. And in the time machine of Ghar, I forgot to do erratic, so they would have been fine.
Ghar.
This unit is going to, once again, believe it or not, run and sprint. They have a sprint check. Hey, they actually passed. And I'm going to not like go like all the way out because I want to still be within Fartok's command.
Algoryn. I will be using this infiltrator unit right here, and they're gonna have to perform a rally test, which I get a 6, so they pass.
Wait, hold on. Do your bombs go through the transmat?
No. They only go off when people get close, so they're ready for you. Now that is successful, I have to test to see if I go to the center point or the point completely covered in Ghar.
Oh, I really hope you go to this one.
So we're gonna say this is 10 through 6, and this is 1 through 5. So let's see what happens. Woo! So I go to this one.
Oh, that sucks.
So I'm like, so that is my final position. I now possess 3 victory points, and I have tested my closest transmat. Ghar.
I find myself in a bit of a weird position. I was thinking I was gonna use these guys for this objective, but I don't really need to that badly. I can just kind of start sprinting towards the center,
which will become very pivotal very quickly. So that's what I'm gonna do. I need to roll my amp.
And a leadership test, because they have 1 pin,
Yes,
which you only are
exactly.
gonna fail on a 10.
That's my amp. Amp
You're good.
Leadership test. Leadership test good. Sprint check. Obviously bad.
So you just keep the pin.
Yeah.
Sergey's final position in the classic Ghar Conga. Oh, it's the distortion dice!
Ooh, who shall be distorted?
I mean, most likely me, let's be honest here.
It is you.
Yeah. I do have distortion resistance, and we have equal number of dice in the bag, which is not going to be a super common occurrence, so I feel like now's the sweet spot to do it.
Now, it is important to note, as the Algoryn, I also have distort stability, but I can't activate it unless my dice is pulled first. So this dice pull is the official person who gets distorted.
You shake that around. You place it right on top, I know you did.
Oh, it's you again!
I don't have a lot of good options here, so I think Fartok is probably the best one. He's got 10 command, and you know what? He likes splish-splashing around in the distortion. Ghar! I'm going to do a run and a sprint with this unit here. I failed the sprint. I failed all the sprints. Actually, that's not fair. I passed a disproportionate amount of them, if we're being honest. But I get right up onto the edge over here with my unit, which puts me on high ground, which is very helpful. Algoryn.
I am gonna once again test the same transmat, and that's because it doesn't say anything about being able to run, advance through a transport, or I'm sorry, a teleport pad until you've actually done 2 of them. So I still have to do the random movement. So I'm gonna do a rally order with this unit. Oh, I failed the rally order.
Unexpected.
Do I go down, or does it just not happen? I think it just doesn't happen.
I don't know, let's find out.
A rally test is considered an order test, and when you fail an order test, you do lose a pin, which I don't have one, and you're forced down. So this unit is down. Algoryn. My last Reaver Assault Squad is going to try to sprint down the flank. I passed the sprint check, so no pin, and that gets me all the way up to her. Algoryn again. I will use my targeter probes that I honestly forgot existed until this moment. 2 of them are going to attach themselves to this battle squad unit. Oh, that's not a, where's the other targeter? There's one.
Oh god.
There's one.
We've lost the target.
Oh, there's one over here. Okay, so it is this guy. Oh, and then this one's just gonna chill here. He's cool. He's staying there.
Wait for me to transmat over there is what
Yeah,
he
and
said.
then this one is gonna move right here. Algoryn. I'm gonna do a fire order with my Lax Vector Squad, and I'm gonna fire both X launchers, because they're the only thing that can fire, or have line of sight rather, into that unit of battle squads. I have 2 targeters, but unfortunately targeters only give +1 to overhead, so I'm -1 overhead, -2 for obscuring, and then +1. So I'm gonna be hitting on a 1, 2, or a 3. I will aim for the centermost guy, and like I said, 1, 2, or 3. So 3 is a direct hit
nice.
with the first one, and 5 misses and deviates 5 inches. It's gonna go that way, so it doesn't matter, which means I hit with 1, causing 2 hits. Oh, great.
Just 2 hits, and I'm good. And no pins.
Yeah, I have the last 3 order dice on the field, and the first one's gonna be pretty boring. It's gonna be my Tectorist.
My first order die will be my Tectorist. This guy is going to go on a wild ride, hopefully, and get to the other side of the field when that transmat is triggered. This one is going to get up onto this side of the field, hopefully giving me some re-rolls around there. This one's going to go a little bit deeper onto the field. I'll put him in terrain.
Oh yeah,
anyway.
Sergey found out the Tectors move 20 inches.
Yeah, they move
now.
20 inches and they have tough, which is awesome. Clarence has been lifting weights.
Speaking of Clarence, where is Clarence?
I don't
Oh, wait.
I lost him. Where is he?
Where is Clarence?
Oh.
Oh, and
There he is. He's on the barrel.
Yeah, it's hard to see.
So actually, it'll make more sense for me to make this one more central, and I'll have Clarence take the wild ride because he's the bravest Tectorist there ever was.
He would be.
I'm going to attempt to perform a firing order with this unit into Kevin's unit on the transmat, but I have to do several checks beforehand. I'm going to attempt to do their erratic, which they passed,
Damn.
and their order test. Oh, come on.
Yes! And their burnout, it's down.
No, they're just down.
Oh, yeah, sorry, the erratic dice. I'm sorry, if you roll a 10 on the erratic, it burns out. But you do go down, so I guess there's that.
I'm going to attempt to move with Fartok as well. He also has to pass an erratic, which he does.
Damn.
I'm going to do a sprint order with Fartok, getting him at just as close as I can to the center point, because I want to converge on it as best as possible. And my sprint check, it was way over here, but it was a failure. I'm going to attempt to put these guys on ambush, so Kevin transporting through this will get shot at, but I need to pass my erratic, and I don't. This unit is unfortunately down, and I need to roll 7 or lower to get him back up. Oh, come on!
Oh, yay!
I do lose the pin though.
That's
but
true.
Dang, I guess they still have their amp dice. And Fartok has the distortion dice, and he does get back up because he's command 10.
You lose your pin. My ladies are down over here, and they're gonna get up with an 8. The last thing, now that everything else is done, is we gotta see if this scoot shot is gonna remain 1 to 5. It does, and it does not, so it disappears. It was a gamble. That did not pay off.
Turn 1 was fairly eventful. The Ghar swarmed this transmat, but the Algoryn were able to spread out across both the center and this transmat, even managing to test one, scoring some points. It's still anyone's game with a lot riding on who goes first.
Going into turn 2, the Ghar were unlucky and have 1 order dice in the field, but that gives them a 4 dice advantage still at 14 total, with the Algoryn only at 10, and the distortion dice still in there, you know, a little spicy.
I have 2 instances of QG interference, and now that it's the beginning of the turn, I'm going to activate both of them. This allows me to choose one of Kevin's units, well 2 in this case, of Kevin's units, and force them to take an order test at -2, or they go down. However, if they succeed, they're allowed to do their action before anyone else, so it's kind of a gamble. First things first, I've chosen this Reaver Assault Squad that has 1 pin.
So I must pass on a 5 or lower, which I do. Well, since I get to go and I'm not really within range of anything, I'm going to have my guys run to the transmat with just a normal run, because I can get there with just a normal run.
The second unit I'm going to be distorting, I guess in this case, is going to be the second Reaver Assault Squad. Kevin, you have no pins, so you're at 6s.
And
you
fail.
go down.
Well, that wasn't fun. I don't like distortion. It's just not cool. Algoryn! Well, I will obviously try to use this chance to do a rally order and
Oh god, I hope you roll a
test
10.
this.
You would deserve it after my horrible luck.
Yes!
Oh, okay.
So, now, 1 through 5, I teleport to the one I've already tested. 6 through 10, I go to Ghar Hell. And it's the one I've already tested. So, now this is silly, but since they're on the transmat over here already, they are technically swip swapped. So all I'm going to do is take this
the
order
same
dice
unit, yeah.
and just
move,
take it
move it over there.
to here.
Okay.
and then advantageously position these guys.
Kevin's final and very similar position.
Ghar.
I'll be charging with this unit right here. I need to roll an order test. That is an order dice, which one would assume one would take an order test with, and I'm good. And I need to, I'm pretty
Who's your
sure I need to
target?
sprint. Your infiltrators.
Oh, well then I'm going to attempt to countercharge.
My sprint check goes first, and I don't know if it's gonna have any bearing on Kevin's decision, but I will have a pin throughout.
I figured you would.
My initiative is 8, and I get a 5. So
Okay.
I'm gonna countercharge with a sprint, and I pass the sprint. So we meet in the middle-ish.
I will be firing bombs, hitting on 4s with a Tector's reroll, and Kevin will be hitting me with fractal charges, hitting on 5s. 4s for the Ghar, and that's 1 hit, Tector's reroll, and just 1 hit.
No
Oh,
hit.
come on!
It is halved because I sprinted, just so you don't know. Now the fractal bomb's hitting on 5. Oh, I hit 4 times, which is what I wanted to see. So that means that,
Reroll because I sprinted.
oh yeah. Well, one of them's a 1, so I don't have to reroll that. Oh, it's still 4 hits. So that means that this compounds. This is strike value 6 now, and these 2 are strike value 3s. And Sergey has to take them, and we know now they don't get rerolls, so cross your fingers. Damn you.
Fine. But I do get a pin, which is super important because I now have 2 pins and he has 0. In close combat, however, I am hitting on 10s, and I hit with all 3.
Unfortunately, I only save on 4s, so one of my normal people is dead. I am striking back. Now, the important thing is that if I roll a 10, I'll be super unlucky and actually blow myself up. Which I do roll 2 10s. Oh, that's terrible news for me. So I hit, otherwise though, 3 different times because we charged. So you still have to contend with those, but I have to contend with these. And I kill one of my own people.
Very important to note here that if I pass all these tests, we're at equal pins, making it tie combat.
Oh, yes!
And I get another pin and lose a guy, meaning I have to do a command test. 7s, and I'm good.
I have won the combat, so I still hit on 6s, but I can still blow myself up. Which I still do. Oh my god, that's terrible. But I do stack these 2 on one guy, so now it's strike value 6. So get wrecked, Sergey. And my leader blows herself up. Blows herself up in a pretty big way. Wow, fractal charges are dangerous.
The black dice will represent the higher strike value, and I think I'm good. I said that this, I shouldn't have rolled 2 dice, but I said this was the higher strike value hit, which was the correct one, so I'll be honorable and I will take that. However, I do get to strike back at Kevin, hitting both times.
And we got 2 guys left, and one of them's dead. So I am obviously, we're both obviously less than half because we only have 1 individual each. So we both have to take a break test. Mine is on a leadership of 4 or lower, which I fail, so I'm definitely dead.
I, on the other hand, am 10 down to 6, and I'm good.
Damn it.
All of these units are dead, and I get to consolidate, but the desperately sad fact is I'm not close enough to the center objective by like a sliver of an inch, so I won't be able to rally and take these points.
I will of course be doing a fire order with this X-Launcher team, firing another scoot round right here, which is going to benefit from my targeter probe, and I'm still only hitting on a 1, 2, or a 3. So I got a 4, and so it's unfortunately deviating 4 inches this way, and
thank God.
So it's just right here. Algoryn again!
Ah! In a horrible twist of fates, Kevin is doing it again. Yep.
5. So unfortunately it misses, but it actually misses.
It misses in a pretty great way.
So 5 inches, because once again, you don't be rolling a bunch of dice anymore. So it's basically landed right here.
They're mega scout.
Yeah. Oh god, this terrain. Here, you know what? We're gonna have to, even though this looks cool, we for simplicity's sake, we have to get rid of it.
That might make our lives a lot easier.
Yeah, we just have to get rid of it. So, there. Ghar.
For members of the official Clarence fan club, you'll notice that he has scooted a little bit. Neither me nor Kevin realized that probe units counted for like the 1 inch rule. So I obviously wouldn't have blocked my entire army from being able to do the only objective because I thought it was funny to put Clarence there.
In fact, he should probably be here unless you really want him to travel through the transmat.
I do want him to travel through the transmat. So
well, there you go. Are you cool with that final position?
And now we know the rules, and we won't mess with that again. For my move, obviously the Clarence faux pas leading into this, I'm going to move this unit here. I'm going to do a run order. There's absolutely no reason for me to do anything else.
Man, I love my transmat circuit, but I'm definitely building new ones.
Yeah, man, I demand blue tack.
Did you pass agility test to get through that?
I'm not gonna need to because I'm just running.
Oh, okay. So you're only moving 4 inches no matter what, really.
Yeah.
Ghar, yes! I'm going to test the transmat!
First things first, I have to test if their erratic amp screws me over. I really hope it doesn't. Oh, come on. Why?
Ghar!
I'm going to attempt to do an advance order with this so far unreliable unit. Erratic test. Yes! I'll be firing into Kevin's unit on this transmat with a disruptor bomb and also a big disruptor bomb. I'll be at effective range with this fellow and extreme range with him. So he'll be hitting on 4s and he'll be hitting on 3s because he's over him. I'll be placing the pineapple on this guy. Actually, I'll place it on this guy, so maybe it'll scatter over there. Who knows? So on this dude, and then the overhead misses. But, okay, we just did some frantic research.
Yeah.
And we're pretty sure in version 2, Tectoris and spotter drones allow you to re-roll overhead shooting.
Yeah.
She
is a Tectoris.
Please Let us know if we're wrong.
We're sorry if we are.
This is the assumption that we have to go on based on the information that we currently have.
We read everything.
And my other guy gets to shoot as well, who hits. And I miss anyway, so it doesn't matter. But I do hit you with my little bomb. D4 hits, 1 hit.
1! That strike value 1, I'll take it to my leader. He has 7 res normally, so I need a 6 or lower. I get a 6 or lower, but I do have to take 2 freaking pins.
Limited ammo test. I'm good. Ghar. I'm going to perform an advance order with this bomber unit. They're in an awkward position, but we figured out if I move to like here, I am not without 10 inches, and I am
No, you are without.
I'm without 10 inches. I'm without 10 inches and can still shoot through this terrain. I do need to do a command test, and I pass. Do need to do an agility test, and I pass. Now, this is pretty much the same shot as before, except slightly worse, because I'm shooting through terrain. This guy's only at long range, so he's at -3 total. This guy is -1 for overhead and -2 for the terrain, making him -3. So they're both -3, hitting on 2s. Neither hit, but...
Which is which?
The yellow is the big bomb.
Okay.
And I get a Tectorus reroll. They're both hitting on 2s, so I may as well...
do the big bomb.
Reroll the big bomb, yeah. Oh, limited ammo test. I'm good. Ghar again. I'm gonna do a firing order with the same unit. I'll attempt to do the erratic test. Erratic.
Yay.
And they don't do anything. Ghar. I'm going to attempt to charge with Fartok. It's not very likely because I have to get through this terrain. So it's a 3 to get through, and I don't. So I'm gonna end somewhere around here. I need to roll a sprint check, and hey, I pass. Kind of wish I had gotten that on the other one. So this is just straight up through this. Yeah. So that's 6 inches. So, 12 inches perfectly gets me to like there, I guess.
Yeah, that's you get through the train, but you always end up in it still.
Yeah,
it's
brutal.
the worst combo for a Ghar.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay. Ooh.
Cheater. Cheater!
I can't be bogged down if I just move the terrain. Algoryn.
I'm gonna do a fire order with this mag cannon, shooting at this dude on the hill. Now he is at long range because he's further out than 30 inches, but I have a spotter drone and I did a fire order, so it's a 50-50 either way. Can I do it? Whoop. 7 is a miss, but I have a spotter drone. And a 1 is a hit. It's a lucky. That doesn't matter unless I do blow him up, in which case he'll blow up.
Well, it matters.
Never mind. What am I talking about?
Bomber?
I'll put it on the bomber guy who can launch the overhead strikes.
My res 12 is down to 7. And I'm good. But I do get a pin.
You do get a pin.
Ghar. Once again, I will attempt to charge with Fartok into Kevin's unit with 2 pins. I need a 50-50. Hey, I get a 1, and I'll easily be able to get there. I do need to roll a sprint check, which I fail. So I'll get 1 pin on the close.
Ugh, terrifying. So you are going to be shooting with, I'm assuming, bombs.
Yes.
So you are at -1 to hit, so that's going to be 4s to hit with 3 shots. And then I can either throw grenades or shoot mag repeaters. You know what? Bullet hell, I'm shooting those repeaters. Let's go crazy. Ah!
Ghar shooting. That's pretty decent shooting. Tectorus reroll. No. Nice. Well, so it's just 1 hit. And that'll be 2 bomb shots.
It's a strike value 1 hit, so I'm going to be at res 6. So my regular guy is dead, my leader is fine, but that does mean I have 2 more pins, meaning I have a total of 4 pins. Let's see what the Algoryn shooting can do. Maybe I'll get lucky. 4 hits, but I do get to reroll 1 because of my spotter. And then I can only keep 1 lucky. He did sprint. So in the end, it was only 1 hit. Which ain't worth it. That'll just be on a non-Fartok.
We're good.
With 1 man down, I am now forced to make the decision of will I go defensive with my D-spinners or offensive. And the thing is that I already have 4 pins. I'm gonna have a 40% chance to fail, or to pass rather. And that's if I don't lose anybody else, which I'm absolutely going to. So I'm just gonna go offensive and charge my D-spinner grenade launchers, meaning I have 8 shots hitting on, I believe, 5s, strike value 2, and it compounds like grenades.
I only have 3 shots, however, 2 of them are strike value 3, but Fartok himself has a plasma claw, meaning he is strike value 5.
For Algor! Well, that was terrible. So, only in the end, oh my god, 2 measly hits. So, 1 can be on Fartok, of course, and 1's on a regular guy.
And I'm good.
Yep.
Ghar striking back, hitting with everything.
Everybody is dead.
And
Yeah.
he's dead as
So
well.
the leader and a regular guy is dead. I have 2 normal men left.
And putting you to 6 pins, so you have to do a big old break test right now.
Oof. And I'm out of the fight.
Well, that poor unit of Algoryn is destroyed.
And the triumphant Fartok is now on the transmat. But he can get wrecked.
And there's also that, yeah.
Because now that that's over,
So when does that actually trigger?
it's at the end of moves, actions, anything like that.
Okay, so
and
at the end of my action, I will consolidate slightly away from it, if possible.
and that's fine, because during that move is when I'm gonna set it off.
Cool, so it's kind of like a reaction.
Exactly.
Sergey's going to insert a sweet explosion graphic, is what I have assumed.
I probably won't do that. But
So it's a D5 hit, so we're just using a D10 as a D5. And it causes 3 hits. So I'm going to choose to have 2 hits on the single guy, because
That
it
makes
has
sense.
to be split evenly. Those are going to combine like grenades do, so it's a single strike value 6 hit for him, and then Fartok's unit can take a single strike value 3.
this guy taking a big old hit.
Hey, I got him!
Well, so it's 12 minus what? 6. No! He had so much to live for.
Dead.
And then I have 1 on Fartok, who's absolutely fine.
Algoryn.
Now for my targeters. This one is gonna go hang out with this unit. These 2 are gonna hang out with this unit.
That makes sense.
He can't stand that. There we go. And then this unit is gonna basically do the exact same thing, except it's gonna switch positions. It'll be up here now. Okay, screw it.
The distortion.
Who
It's
will get
actually
it?
pretty good timing for me. I might.
Yeah, you have a perfect unit just to, yeah.
No, it's me. I'm just gonna put it on this unit here. They're scooted anyway, so why not, right?
Ghar.
I'm going to attempt to perform a run order with this unit, but their erratic amp disallows them from doing it.
Yeah.
Ghar.
I will move my Tectorus. This guy is going to scoot way over here, so he's covering that transmat. This one is going to move back a little bit over to here, so he's covering that even if this guy gets sucked away.
That guy, it's Clarence.
I'm sorry. I should
That guy.
I should respect Clarence.
Informality.
And then this one is going to be like over here.
Ghar.
I'm going to sort of perform a run with this unit, but I'm just not going to move. I don't want. They're in the perfect position.
I have the last 2 order dice in the bag, and I will use it to crush my enemies. I am gonna run with these guys because literally there's no point in fighting the people in the center. I am just going to run and sprint and get to be standing on that point because you know what? Ooh, 1, sweet. If I'm there, I'm there. And you know what? He'll suck me right through to the other point because I already have the other 2 points. I just need the point closest to him. This last vector squad is now gonna, it's just in a spot that I want it to stay in. So I'm gonna do a fire order. I'm gonna use my own spotter to patch into them. I am at -1 for overhead, -1 for long range, and -2 for obscuring. So I'm actually only hitting on a 1, but I do get a reroll because I have a spotter, and I get 2 shots, so I'm just gonna try. So I'm gonna aim at this dude right here. I'm only hitting on a 1. So I miss.
You deviate 3 inches in that direction,
Honestly,
which you'll definitely hit.
I'm gonna keep that one. I'm not gonna re-roll it.
Okay.
It's gonna deviate this way, still hit Fartok, causing a D4 strike value 0 hits. So that's 3, not terrible.
Mm-hmm.
The next shot is a dud.
I laugh at your pitiful grenades and.
Oh my god! Laugh no more. One man is
Wowee.
dead. Fartok dies. Oh god, if I would have killed
Fartok's
Fartok.
fine, but you do kill
A normal guy
A normal
and it has
guy.
a pin.
Brutal.
Wow. Oy vey. So we forgot to put the pin on there from his sprint earlier. That means Fartok is sitting with 1 less buddy and 2 pins.
Only unit I have down is these guys right over here, and they're good. And while I have the dice, I'm just gonna see if these special munitions fail. So this one in the amongst the barrels disappears, and the one back here is good still. Thank the Lord.
Down order over here from last turn, and they're good.
And then the guy that had the distortion dice over here.
And he's good as well. Undeterred by the scoot munitions of the Algoryn, this nest of steel and claw still remains strong, and Fartok has taken the center of the field. However, the Algoryn still hold strong at their final outpost. Can they prevent the Ghar from testing the transmats?
Now going into turn 3. Oh, the Algoryn have tried so hard, but unfortunately 2 of their units have been removed. Only 1 Ghar unit has been removed, so the Ghar still have a 5 order dice supremacy over the Algoryn, sitting at 13 total, and the Algoryn have 8. Turn 3. It's Algoryn! Scoot, scoot, scoot! I'm obviously doing this again. It's a fire order with automatic launcher teams. Effective range, +1 for this, -1 for overhead, so it equalizes out to be 5s or lower.
Oh, yes!
This is by so much.
Oh, thank the Lord.
All the way over here to do nothing.
My protectorate. Are you kidding me?
The Algoryn!
Dark dealings!
Scoot, 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 scoot. This says Homer, but pay no attention to the side, the tokens. It's gonna be a scoot again. 5s or lower. 8 inches!
Yes!
You gotta be kidding me!
Just swinging wildly.
So,
I mean, you scooted the crap out of these guys, which is pretty sweet.
everybody in the back row, but it doesn't matter. Everybody who doesn't matter has been
My
scooted.
assault squads are still solid.
Ghar!
Obviously, I am going to do a rally order with Fartok here.
sack of
Damn it! I'm super solid. I lose both my pins. I can't roll less than a 1.
Okay, so now, on a 1 through a 5, you teleport to this old point right here. And on a 6 through a 10, you get way overcrowded with your boys over here.
Yep. So
It's with your boys!
6 to the 10. So I'm over here. Now, these all suck over to here, though.
Well, let's make sure that's the truth.
And Fartok teleports over to this side of the field, and the hive of metal and claw has moved to the center, ever encroaching on Kevin's fortified position.
You again.
I'm going to attempt to test this transmat with my, well, I'll do the battle squad. And I need, yep, I do, I pass, and I need a 5 or lower.
5 or lower to appear on this one.
What I want.
Yep. 6 or whatever replaces Fartok. Or it doesn't replace Fartok. Well,
Yeah,
actually
yeah,
will.
it'll
Actually,
swap
sorry.
them. Yes,
Oh.
okay.
Detonate the mines! That's right, the squad that's already been killed left a nasty surprise left behind for the Ghar. Ooh, 5 hits!
Oh, brutal.
Fractal charges combined, meaning 2 of these bad boys gonna take strike value 6 hits and 1 gets a strike value 3. Oh my god, you gotta be kidding me.
Yes, I'm all good.
But it does cause a pin.
Wait, where's Clarence?
Algoryn! I must prevent you from what you're trying to do! Sprint charge with my remaining Algoryn Reaver unit into these bastards with 1 pin already. Yes, I'm fine on the sprint test. So, I am going to be coming in hot. Unfortunately, I only have stupid mag repeaters, so I'm gonna have 10 shots hitting on 4s with 1 reroll.
And I'll be using bombs, and I do have a sneaky tech tourist right in this forest here.
Come on, dice, you screwed me before. Not too shabby. I'm missed half the time, so I guess that's statistically pretty likely. I get 1 reroll, and it's still a miss. So Sergey, you must contend with 3 hits. The lucky doesn't matter because it's gonna stack like that anyway. So one guy has 2 strike value 0s.
One guy has 2 on him, and he's fine. The other 2 guys each have 1. Oh!
Oh my god!
And you kill one and give me a pin, but I do get to shoot back before that happens. Force for the Ghar. Woo!
You get a reroll.
Yep. Nope, just one. But one is a lucky, and they both bloom out to 4 and 3. That's 7.
it's
Divided in half. Do we round down or up?
You round down.
Oh yeah, you're right. So it's one. So it's 3 hits, and one is a lucky.
So Sergey has opted to stack 2 hits, strike value 1 on a normal guy. He saves on 6s or lower. So I'm fine on both regards. The leader, same deal. 1 is fine, but the most important thing is that the distortion bombs do cause 2 pins right off the gate. So he has 2 pins. I have 1 or 2 pins.
In close combat, just like the other ones, I'm hitting on 10s, and I have strike value 3.
I must make the important decision as to what I will do, which is actually quite important right now because I can either bump my res to 9 in close combat, meaning each one of my guys has 2 hits at strike value 0, which is a pretty good amount of hits, or I can pump up my plasma grenades to be strike value 2. Just kidding, what am I talking about? It's not a tough call. I'm gonna compound those hits until he is dead. So I'm gonna use 2 strike value 2 hits that compound like grenades.
2 hits from the Ghar, both hit, and one's a lucky, so they're both gonna go on. No, I want to kill 2 people, so they'll both go on separate guys. One on the non-leader.
Strike value 2.
3.
Oh, strike value 3. God bless America. So my regular guy is fine. My leader is going to die from that, but I still get to attack. Hitting on 6s because I charge. Ooh, yeah, that was a good one, Sergey. Oh, there's a lucky in there too. Well, it doesn't matter actually. Well, actually it can because it can combine more. So, and it doesn't matter because I'm going to be able to stack it on this. So one of them is taking a strike value 8 and the other is taking a strike value 6.
He's dead. And he's dead.
Nice! So that is 1 pin and 1 death for me from that round of close combat. Get out of here, guy. You ain't getting this point. I unfortunately lose a guy. That means this unit now gets to consolidate, which I'm actually going to consolidate away from the point because I want to defend the point with my guys.
My final position after consolidation, right in the cover and just outside of the transmat. I choose violence. With this initiative, I have to do something, so I'm gonna charge right into this assault squad at point blank range with my last infiltrators. They're hardcore, they wanna destroy them. Now I have a targeter, so I'm gonna be +1 to hit in point blank shooting. And so with that in mind, I am gonna sprint, so I have to do a sprint test. 2, I'm good. That's probably not in camera at all, apologies. So I'm gonna hit on 6s, but the problem is the Ghar assault squad specifically is just bristling with little disruption grenade launchers, so I'm still gonna get a furious amount of pins.
Yep, I'll be hitting on 5s, re-rolling because he sprinted, but I also have a Tector's re-roll.
Well, Sergey forgot to hit record, but these are his shots, which is fantastic because he misses terribly on 2 10s.
That's true, and I have to re-roll this, and I still hit, which means that I... Oh, actually, no, I don't have to re-roll it because it's blast. So I do one hit to you and give you 2 pins.
Goddamn enough to give me 2 pins, like he said. So, it's strike value 2, so I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take it on the leader, why not? I fail, and I pass. So we're totally good, but let's see what I can do. I'm hitting on 6s because of the targeter with fractal grenade. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. So I missed twice still. I do get to re-roll because I have a spotter, and I still miss. So it is what it is. 3 strike value 3s, so he only fails on a 10.
All good. But I do get a pin.
I am going into close combat, even though their sisters were literally blown to bits by their own grenades. I don't care. I'm gonna assume my luck is not gonna be that bad. I'm hitting on 6s once again with fractal charges, and if I roll a 10, I hit myself.
I'm hitting on anything except for a 10, and I'm strike value 5 with my plasma claws.
Come on, infiltrators. Woo. So, unfortunately, I get no compounding hits. It was just 3.
Did you use your fractals?
Yeah.
Yeah, you hit yourself.
Oh, did I? Whoops. Okay, I hit myself too. You roll yours first.
My saves. I'm all good.
I blow myself up.
And then I punch you with the force of mag cannons. hitting you 3 times.
And that was folly on my part. My part. Oh, my leader survives, but 3 of my normal guys are dead. This forces me to take a save, and I fail. Well, there's a good chance that that amount of bad luck might have just cost me the game. We'll see, but I think that might have just cost me the game.
You gotta be kidding me! What? Okay, Algoryn again! I have learned my lesson, and this unit is not going to be defeated by a normal vector squad with plasma grenades. It's just not gonna happen. So I am actually going to rally and hope that I teleport to where Fartok is. So I make a rally test.
Roll a 10.
I got a 3.
Okay.
1 to 5, it's gonna be the spot that I've already taken, which honestly, then I'll just defend it easier. And if it's a 6 through a 10, it's the hallowed spot. And it's that hallowed spot. So I'm gonna be teleporting here, sending Fartok back to the center.
Okay.
And now begins the reckoning.
I'm going to perform an advance order with this unit. I need to pass an agility test, which I fail, but it's okay because I'm pretty much just doing this. Just getting forward a little bit there. And I am going to fire a single bomb and a big bomb. Woo! Big bomb hits, little bomb misses, Tectorist misses. So that is a hit with that, and it's D6 hits on, well, so only 2. But the important thing is I put 2 pins on him.
Yeah. I will take 1 on a leader and 1 on a regular guy. So the regular guy is dead.
Limited ammo test. And I'm good.
Ghar.
I am obviously going to sprint and charge that unit. I fail my sprint test, just like I always do, but we're getting right up in his face. I'll be firing bombs. I am hitting on 4s because I got pin sprinting.
The Algoryn are left with a plethora of different weaponry. The leader has an X-Sling with implosion grenades, which is gonna be inaccurate and hit with strike value 2 on 1, 2, or 3. I'm sorry, 1, 2. And then the overload ammos are also going to be only hitting on 1s and 2s. And then I have a mag gun. And then I should have a reroll. The spotter drone went missing somewhere in the teleportation.
Ghar, really good shooting, and Tectorist reroll, really good shooting. Wow. So that'll be 2, 3, not so great, 4, nice. So
7.
that'll be 7 hits total.
Oh, hell yeah. Okay, so that missed. So 1 overload hit, but I'm gonna have to re-roll that, which is so oh, so that also missed. So I must re-roll this, and it's nothing. So I didn't hit with anything. And then 7 total hits at strike value 1 is what I have to contend with. I have 4 guys. Oh, so I said 2 for everybody. Or I'm sorry. Is what it is. So I'm going to use, this is going to be one of my overload guys, saving on 6s. So he's dead. The other overload guy is fine. The normal guy with mag gun is dead. And my leader is fine. So I have two individuals left. And just put me out of my miseries, okay? So my guys strike in close combat, missing with the X-Sling, hitting with a strike value 1 plasma grenade.
Taking it on well, I don't have a leader, so just taking a regular guy and he's dead. Then I'm striking back, hitting with all of them. They're all strike value 3. I don't know why I said that. He's obviously not dead. He's fine.
My regular guy is gonna take the clamp and dead, real dead. And my leader is also super dead. I must now take a test because I've lost so many dudes. And with a 5, I lose and my leader runs off the field.
So I kill all of Kevin's units and I did not even receive a pin. Well, that's not fair. I sprinted. So I received 1 pin.
That's true.
Ghar. I will attempt to capture this point. I do need my erratic test, which is good, and my leadership test, which is also good. So I lose my pins and I get the info from this transmat, making it now a tie game with Kevin, and I now move to another transmat. 1 to 5.
No, 1 to 5. It's this one right here, and
10. So it's this one right here. I swap with all these guys. there's about to be a lot of rapid fire teleporting. So we're probably not going to do the whole teleporting sequence.
Yeah.
Because it's going to take like 2 hours to do. So
Know
these
that Clarence is happy because he's getting
Clarence
teleported
is,
again.
is getting wormholed all over the place. It's like that old game Grunts. You remember that game?
Vaguely.
It's the best. Okay, it's a wormhole. Okay, these guys all shoot on over to here as I hurl them across the nether, my poor paint jobs. And these guys all shoot on over to here. Ghar again. In an attempt to end this game, I'm going to try to teleport with my assault squad. And they pass, and
Now you just roll it again. 1 to 5, you're going to appear in the one you want to go to. 6 through 10, you're going to appear right back where you were.
1 to 5, come on. Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
So there's no one on this one. So it's just going to teleport you right over.
Imagine I did cool special effects here.
If you can get the next order dice, Sergey, and not roll a 6 through a 10, you basically have just won.
Algoryn.
The only thing I could really do is maybe cause him to have to take a... Well, he's going to fail on a 10 no matter what. I really can't do that. I'm just going to shoot him at him with my mag cannon for the hell of it.
I'm gonna do an advanced order because I don't even really have the test to get out of the terrain, and I'm gonna take 1 pop shot. It might just be insult to injury, but we'll see. So I miss, and I hit. So you have 1 test of failing on a 9 or a 10, I think?
Failing on actually a 7, so it's... No, I'm good, okay. But I do get a pin.
I hate Ghar battle suits so much.
And with that, all I need to win and secure this day for the crab clawy Ghar is to pass an erratic test, which we all know. Hey, oh,
You good?
I did it. Okay, now I just need to pass the rally test. Oh, come on.
Wait, no. Oh,
Yeah, I failed. That is so brutal.
you know, honestly, okay. I'm just going to be real for a second. He did fail to do that. But Sergey has 3 whole orders to be able to get back into the groove. I have a 4-man squad with 3 pins, and then just my back line over here. I don't know if I can really stave off the inevitable. So rather than just fill us up with a bunch of maneuvering turns, I think I'm ready to concede. I don't think I'm going to be able to.
It was very well fought though. That was a good game, but always the crab claws. I couldn't hold my balance. The crab claws achieve victory. It feels good to play the Ghar without cheating.
True, that is true.
Yep.
We screwed up a lot of rules in version 2, and we apologize for that. But at the same time, it's just like the complexity of the game. There's so much nuance. There's so many little things. Like I said,
which is what makes the game awesome, but also makes it a lot of pressure to film.
And I messed up. We didn't even make a note of it. I messed up the overload ammo being inaccurate because there's so many little details that have changed, which is awesome, which is the best part about version 2.
Yeah,
it's just a
absolutely.
learning curve. So I feel like did a lot better with everything in this one specifically.
Yeah, this is also a really fun match. I felt like really like razor's edge the whole time.
Yeah.
I like was the whole time I felt very close to losing,
Yeah.
which is a good in a scenario, you know what I mean? Where the whole time you're like, I could lose this turn, I could lose this turn, I could lose this turn if something goes bad, you know?
Yeah. I would say, I don't know if I enjoyed fighting Ghar specifically in this scenario. I think that this scenario...
Ghar pretty good at it, yeah.
Well, that's what I said. I think it would have been a bit more punchy. But that said, though, my Algoryn they gave it their all.
Yeah, I mean, you killed a lot of dudes. You killed way more than I thought you would, particularly in that charge.
I would say I got at least I think I only got one. I got one lucky overhead. It was the strike value 0 hit that killed Fartok's buddy. It was good luck.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, the compounding grenades is kind of where it's at, and then high strike value attacks in general. I would say if you have plasma bombards, that would be a good That'd be a good thing to bring to a fight against the Ghar specifically, because that would be such a high strike value. Because even the mag cannon, still in version 2, doesn't have enough oomph to kill a battle suit reliably.
Yeah, for sure.
But they are not as hard. The fact that they don't get the rerolls is a godsend against fighting the Ghar, because that it was already hard enough to get him to roll a 10. The fact that they could re-roll it was real hard pill to swallow.
Yes. I very much like the Ghar update in version 2.
I agree. I still feel like the battlesuit should be just a little bit more expensive.
I wouldn't. I would still like from a power gamey perspective. I would probably still field them if they were like 14 points.
Oh yeah.
You know
Because that's why I think they should be a little more expensive. They're amazing.
They're really good.
Really good.
Yeah, they're really good.
And so it's a daunting task for any force. Although I would say that I don't know if Algoryn, their ancestral enemies, are necessarily the best people to combat them.
Do you have access to a plasma bombard?
No, you don't.
Force level 2, you don't? Okay.
Well, you don't get
bombards
plasma
are
bombards.
like really good against them.
You can get a compression bombard.
Also really good against them.
And you can get other heavy weapons teams, but in this in particular scenario,
Yeah, the scoot was the way to go.
that was a weird gamble, but it worked.
Very nearly at turn 1, I was like, I lost. That was a good play.
Yeah, I mean, it would be.
You got pretty unlucky with it. But.
Yeah, I got very well. It was at the end. It was a series, because if I would have gotten lucky with the special munitions and just a few
they just
charges,
could never cover the whole thing.
Yeah,
they're so close
yeah.
to covering the whole thing.
But yeah, missing sucked because
Yeah.
that really. But I mean, they still did pretty decently. So I would say that it's a viable tactic in objective only scenarios. But either way, it was fun. It was a daunting task to film this large of a battle, as we always say with the larger fights. But it was fun. It was really cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, we hope you enjoyed the battle report today, and if you've made it to the end of the video, you should absolutely help support this channel in the easiest way possible by liking the video, commenting below, subscribing to the channel, making sure you have notifications enabled, and most importantly, we found out, share this video with anybody you think might enjoy it as well.
If you want to support the channel even further, we have a link to our TTW swag right beneath this video where you can buy the most awesome shirts in the world!
But if you want to support this channel in the best way possible, join our ever-growing Patreon community where you get access to bonus content and the ability to communicate directly with the Warlords themselves.
And on the note of patrons, we have to thank our noble council of commanders, Nick Hobbs,
Elizabeth Allen,
Will Connell,
Les Stevenson,
and Amelia.
We also always lean on the tactical acumen of our 2 warlords, Knight Silver
and Michael Crow.
And we always raise our sabers, and in the case of Sergei, a battle axe, in honor of our amazing emperors themselves,
John Roberts and Kestrel.
Long may they reign!